An astronaut travels to the outer edges of the solar system in search of his father. Along the way, he unravels a mystery that threatens the survival of planet Earth. If you want to stay in the loop and receive more exciting videos, make sure to subscribe, click the notification bell, and don't forget to like the video. In the not-too-distant future, the solar system faces an ominous threat as enigmatic power surges of unknown origin endanger the very existence of humanity. Major Roy McBride, son of the celebrated astronaut Clifford McBride, narrowly survives a perilous incident caused by one of these surges while stationed on a colossal space antenna. U.S. Space Command, SpaceCom, the branch of the United States Armed Forces operating in space, discloses to Roy that the enigmatic surges originate from the Lima Project base. Launched 26 years ago, under the leadership of Clifford McBride, the Lima Project aimed to explore the outer reaches of the solar system in search of intelligent life. However, it mysteriously vanished 16 years ago while in orbit around Neptune. A SpaceCom officer conveys to Roy the belief that his father might still be alive, entrusting him with the crucial mission of journeying to Mars to establish contact. Accepting the assignment, Roy is joined by Colonel Pruitt, an esteemed associate of his father. After embarking on a commercial flight to the Moon, Roy and Colonel Pruitt are accompanied by a contingent of U.S. military personnel, guiding them through a treacherous region known as No Man's Land, en route to the SpaceCom lunar base. However, their progress is unexpectedly interrupted when they fall victim to a surprise assault by marauding pirates while traversing the lunar surface in rovers. The attackers ruthlessly eliminate the majority of their group, leaving only Roy and Pruitt alive. Upon finally arriving at the lunar base, a critically wounded Pruitt is promptly transferred to intensive care for urgent medical attention. Roy, on the other hand, proceeds to transfer to a SpaceCom spacecraft crewed by Captain Lawrence Tanner, Donald Stanford, Franklin Yoshida, and Lorraine Devers, 4 dedicated SpaceCom officers. They board the Cepheus, embarking on a momentous journey to Mars. During the voyage to Mars, the spaceship intercepts a distress signal originating from a Norwegian biomedical research space station. Roy and the ship's captain venture onto the station only to find it deserted, but their exploration takes a perilous turn when they are attacked by an aggressive baboon that had escaped from the Norwegian facility. Tragically, Captain Tanner falls victim to the ape's aggression before Roy manages to neutralize the threat. Another baboon then assails Roy, but he narrowly escapes the station, carrying the captain's lifeless body with him. As preparations are underway for a routine landing on Mars, a sudden power surge strikes the ship, necessitating immediate manual intervention. However, the interim captain succumbs to fear and is unable to assume control, leaving Roy to step up and skillfully maneuver the ship for a safe landing. Having successfully reached Mars, Roy proceeds through the cold and melancholic customs office overseen by the sole customs officer, Tanya Pincus. Subsequently, he is escorted to the subterranean SpaceCom base, where he has a brief encounter with Helen Lantis, the facility director. Roy's primary assignment is to record voice messages intended for transmission to the Lima Project, with the hope of eliciting a response from Clifford. Departing from the scripted messages, the crew seemingly receives a reply. However, Roy's personal connection to the mission is deemed a psychological risk to both himself and the mission's success, resulting in his abrupt removal from the assignment. Confined to a comfort room, Roy receives a visit from Lantis, who discloses her Martian heritage and her limited exposure to Earth during her childhood. She further reveals that she is the daughter of Lima Project crew members. In a clandestine conversation, Lantis shares classified footage from the Lima Project, unveiling the mutiny staged by Clifford's crew when he opposed their return to Earth, ultimately leading to his killing them by deactivating their life support systems. Regrettably, her parents were among the casualties. Lantis informs Roy that the crew responsible for bringing him to Mars is planning to annihilate the Lima Project base using a nuclear payload. Recognizing that Roy is the sole individual capable of confronting Clifford, she assists him in a covert escape from the base, guiding him to an underground lake beneath the rocket launch site. During the rocket's departure, Roy manages to board, but his presence is discovered, prompting the crew to receive orders to eliminate him. Despite Roy's best efforts, a confrontation ensues, resulting in the unfortunate demise of the entire crew. Left alone, Roy assumes command of the ship. Throughout the arduous voyage to Neptune, he contemplates his complicated relationship with his father, as well as his estranged wife, Eve. The prolonged isolation and intense pressure of the mission begin to take a toll on his mental state. However, after several weeks, he reaches the Lima Project. Approaching the base in a small module, another power surge strikes, damaging the module and forcing Roy to enter the base via a spacewalk. Inside, he discovers that the Lima base is nearly deserted, with most of its crew members deceased. Undeterred, he plants the nuclear payload and finally comes face to face with his father, who is now the sole survivor of the base. Clifford reveals to Roy that the source of the power surges is a malfunctioning antimatter power source on the ship, which was damaged during a mutiny and has remained unsolved. Despite the circumstances, Clifford has persisted in his work on the project, maintaining unwavering faith in the possibility of extraterrestrial intelligence. Against his father's objections, Roy arms the payload and prepares to return to his ship with Clifford. However, Clifford takes a drastic decision, employing the thrusters on his spacesuit to propel himself into deep space, refusing to return to Earth. Roy attempts to rescue him, but Clifford adamantly declines assistance, leaving a devastated Roy to witness his father drift away in orbit around Neptune. Alone, Roy manages to propel himself back to his ship, utilizing a piece of the Lima Project ship's hull as a shield while passing through Neptune's ring. He also secures the retrieved data from the base. With insufficient fuel to return solely under his own power, he harnesses the shockwave from the nuclear explosion to propel the ship back home. Upon analyzing the Lima Project data, which strongly indicates that humans are the sole intelligent life in the universe, Roy experiences a renewed yearning to reconnect with his loved ones. Filled with a newfound sense of optimism, he returns to Earth and seemingly rekindles his relationship with his wife.